Hey everybody, it's Heather with Heather Marie Speaks, and I'm here on location in RVA with RVA's newest Ironman, Mario, and he's going to tell us a little bit about his story, a little bit of inspiration and encouragement for others to be able to hear. And we're here at No Limits, which is also one of his sponsors. So thank you so much for letting us film here, and thank you so much, Mario, for joining me today.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
So I saw Mario on social media. We have some mutual friends, and saw what he was getting ready to accomplish, the journey that you were on, and then just recently saw the triumph of being able to accomplish Ironman in Mexico, right?
That is correct.
That's amazing. So tell me a little bit about yourself, how you got started in this, and where your journey has led you to.
Okay, so again, my name is Mario. I'm a first generation Hispanic American with my mom coming from Guatemala and my dad coming from Mexico. Just seeing where they come from, I've been humble growing up. It hasn't been easy growing up. I've experienced poverty, experienced homelessness growing up after my parents went through a divorce during the recession of 2008, and also experienced losing my father to cancer while he was still homeless, and just as I had put myself into college with dreams of turning life around for my family and I. So that's a little bit about like my background. Getting into Ironman, I would say that it really transpired from hitting rock bottom. I got a DUI and had lost my license for an entire year. And with that, I wasn't allowed to drive anywhere. I had just converted a camper into a tiny home over by the Richmond airport, which is kind of in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
And so I found myself cycling a lot. Part of the reason I got into trouble with the DUI, it was my third time getting in trouble with the law because of my drinking habits, and I think that just kind of comes from, that was my coping mechanism, was drinking.
Yeah.
And so after I had experienced a little jail time and had lost my license and was living out in the middle of nowhere by myself, I was forced to spend a lot of time alone, and just as all of this transpired, I had gone through a breakup as well with this girl that I was dating for almost 3 years.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, it was just a lot of things that kind of had hit me at once, and I was overweight. I was really just disappointed with myself, sitting there just thinking, and I was like, I had so much anger and disappointment in myself, and the way I wanted to release that, was typically through drinking. But I was on probation, also mandated to go into drug and alcohol rehab for 18 weeks. So drinking was not an option, or else I could go back to jail. So definitely did not want to do that. So I picked up running. I was a team captain of the track team back in high school, and so I remember even when I found out that my father had cancer, I had gone out on an 11-mile run, and long distance was not my forte, but it's how I dealt with pain. And so I picked up running and saw that the Richmond Marathon registration had opened. So I signed up for that, and I started losing some weight. I started getting a little bit better. It wasn't an easy start. I was, again, out of shape, and the first time I had ran a mile, I puked after that 1 mile, and that was
your body's like, what are you doing?
Yeah. I'm sitting there getting blacked out 3 times a week.
Oh, wow.
And now going cold turkey on alcohol, and also starting to run again. And so of course my body is like, what are you doing? And here I am puking after 1 mile, trying to take up a marathon. And but still the marathon just didn't feel enough to me. To kind of redeem myself as a person. I had super low self-esteem at the time and was just really depressed. And so I had heard of Ironman, which is an ultra triathlon.
Yeah.
The hardest single day race in the world. And it just kind of like whispered in my mind, and I thought, I'll look into this. I've got enough anger and disappointment in myself to just want to do something crazy to just feel that I could redeem myself as a person. I saw that they had a half Ironman, and at this time I had zero cycling, zero swimming experience. All I had was this road bike that I had just bought because, again, I didn't have a license, so I was cycling everywhere, and I thought to myself, I could do this. All I need to do is incorporate swimming. And at this time, it was kind of coming close to winter time. Fall had just started, and that's usually the end of triathlon season. So I saw that the next and last race of the year was only 3 months out, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna go for it.
Wow.
So I signed up for half Ironman, which is 70.3 miles out in California, and I started hitting the gym every day so I could swim. And I remember the first day I got into the pool, I couldn't even do 2 laps without stopping. And I'm just sitting here thinking to myself, how am I gonna get through this? But I really wanted to get through it, so I just, day by day I got a little better, enough so that I could finish the race in time, because Ironman is not, hey, just complete it and we'll give you a medal.
Yeah.
You have a certain time window to complete everything. So just by myself with no coaching, just kind of, learned about cycling and swimming techniques. And sure enough, December came around. Well, actually, November came. I did the Richmond Marathon, 26 miles. And then 3 weeks after that, in December, I took on the half Ironman. And so that's how I got started into the world of triathlon. And the way that led me to doing a full Ironman was I had felt really good about myself accomplishing that half Ironman.
As you should have.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, 70.3 miles.
Oh my goodness.
I know it's kind of crazy, and you certainly do wonder what goes through some of these people's minds.
Well, I think what's incredible is just even sitting here listening to you share your story. It's like the way you're even explaining it just sounds like it was just another thing, but you really put your body through an incredible transformation, not just with, your own desire to do that, but taking away the coping mechanism that was so familiar to you.
Yes.
It's definitely something, we discussed it before we even got on camera, that I talk about mental health awareness and how oftentimes people are coping in unhealthy ways because it's familiar, or because there's some sort of generational habit that has just kind of been passed down to you. So it's incredible to hear that not only did you see the self-reflection in yourself to say something needs to change because you wanted to change, you were the reason, and you gave yourself enough reason to do it, which was like mind over matter. Our brains can definitely be reprogrammed, and you're a complete living example of that, not only with the alcohol, but with your body. Like, our bodies are incredible things that sometimes we hit a wall and we're thinking, I can't do this, but you again gave yourself a reason, and that was you, and you just kept going.
Yeah.
So that's incredible. I'm very inspired just by that part of your story. But then you went on, it wasn't just a half Ironman, you went on and did the full Ironman, and it was in Mexico this year.
Right.
And that was just what, a week ago?
That was just a week ago. Yeah. So
it's incredible.
Yeah.
And how was that? Like, that is a full, what is it, 170?
140.3 miles.
Oh my gosh, I could not even
146.
imagine. 146.
140.6.
And it's
miles.
all in one day.
All in a single day. You have 17 hours to complete it. If not, you're disqualified.
Now, did you go out there by yourself? Did you have family, friends?
No. So this time around with this full Ironman, again, this was only my second triathlon event ever. Most people, when they say they're a triathlete, they're typically sprinters, sprint triathlons, which is very short distances, to like typically consisting of like 20, 25 miles or so. But this time around, I knew that I was taking on the big dog. I remember thinking to myself during the half Ironman, wow, this is tough. And if I wanted to do a full Ironman, I would most definitely need a full year of training at least. Because people do typically spend about a year or 2 years of training for these type of events. But this time around, I didn't plan on signing up for an Ironman so quickly, but I just had this whisper in my head. It's like, hey, don't be one of those people that they're all talk and they say that they're going to do it one day. Just sign up for it right now, and the rest will, it all, you know, become as it's supposed to be.
Wow.
And so I did. I didn't have any of the nice equipment or anything, and that's another thing. I'm glad I was a bit naive as to how much time and money this was going to take me. I thought at this time that I had enough equipment and stuff like that and all the gear, but later down the road I'd be spending several $1,000s later.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, it's a really expensive sport.
It's an investment.
Yeah, most
sure.
definitely. Because not only are you talking about bike and shoes and supplements, you're talking about, you know, travel, bike transportation, bike accessories. Yeah, it just gets really expensive. But
did you have people that were helping you and sponsor you?
yes,
That's great.
And so, but I didn't really want any help as I was beginning to network. I had reached out to, I had this whisper in my head that said, you need to do this more than just yourself. You need to do this for the creator of the community.
Yeah.
So I listened to that whisper, and I reached out to a fellow VCU grad that I went to school with, who I had seen on social media, you know, him doing his thing with his charity. So I reached out to him, being that I know him. Said, hey, I'm about to do Ironman, and I would like to race in the name of your charity and raise money and awareness.
That's amazing. And the charity name is?
Hearts of Empowerment.
Yeah.
So.
And what do they focus on? Because I know I've seen them post a lot about you, but Hearts of Empowerment is just helping to empower others?
So Hearts of Empowerment is a very unique organization, charity. What they do is, you could basically think of them as a charity for charities.
Okay.
Other charities that are struggling to get their name out there and also raise money for their cause, they reached out to Hearts of Empowerment. And Hearts of Empowerment, it's a bunch of great young people who are great at networking and running social media, and so they're able to do these fundraising events and turn a $1 donation into a $100 donation.
Wow.
Just through, you know, their ability to raise money and network. And so yeah, I had reached out to them and said, you know, I want to do this for you guys, and they were flattered that I reached out to them. I was even more flattered that they said yes.
Yeah.
And then they were like, all right, great, you know, I'll talk to my board and we'll reach out to you in a month. And that's all my intentions was just to raise money and awareness for this charity. And a month down the road, I get on a conference call, and they said, we're going to get you a website up. We're going to create a documentary on your life, and we want to help you get some sponsors on deck. And I was like,
it's amazing.
Whoa, like I wasn't asking for any of this, but
yeah.
You know, I'm grateful. I'll take it. I'll take whatever help I can get. So they helped me, and here we are at one of my sponsor locations, No Limits.
Yeah.
And I also got Swimbox. They're really great at training one-on-one. They were able to help me cut my swim time significantly. Crazy. I was able to do 2.4 miles in the ocean in an hour and 17 minutes.
Wow.
Because of them. And then I also had 413 Apparel, which is a faith-based apparel company based out of San Diego. And then I also had Hearts of Empowerment behind me, and Hearts of Empowerment flew out to Cozumel with me and supported me throughout the entire journey, and I'm just so grateful.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's so awesome. I love hearing stories like this of just people that have overcome things that, you know, they just refuse to let it, you know, cause them to fail. They used it as a, you know, flipping the switch and using it as something positive to change your future, change your destiny. And you mentioned several times you had a whisper, and I totally feel like that's part of our spiritual side. I definitely believe in God, and that there's divine connections, and that sometimes there's a Holy Spirit whisper that says, do this. And it's the faith that gets you through to the other side.
Yes.
But there's definitely divine connections out there. And so those whispers were leading you in the direction of being able to not only help others, but they bless you in return. That's what it's all about. I know that you've certainly inspired many people out there with your story. what kind of encouragement would you give someone that would even have the smallest percentage of what you've gone through, struggling wise with alcohol or with the family and with even homelessness? What kind of encouragement would you give someone who might be struggling with mental health or even the desire to be better just for yourself?
Yeah, so I would say as far as your mental health, definitely if you're feeling something, you need to say something and don't just bury it, because that will end in negative habits for sure. I was listening to podcasts and listening to these motivational speeches on YouTube, and there was this pattern of seeing a therapist, even if there's nothing wrong. If you feel like there's nothing wrong with you as a person, it's still a great thing to go see a therapist, just in case anything does happen to you. You have somebody there to mentally catch you. And so I heard it again and again, and I said, you know what, I've never seen a therapist, but let me give this a shot. And ended up being the best thing I've ever done for myself, especially as far as proving self-love. Again, I had gone through a breakup and hit this absolute lowest point in my life where I had to go to jail and was spending a lot of time by myself. And it was, typically a lot of people, when they go through hard times, they can just go to their friends and seek comfort. But I was forced to sit there with my thoughts and just really think about everything, and I just had to let it out. So saw this therapist, and she absolutely helped me untangle all of these thoughts that I had within me. So go see a therapist if you need to, no shame in that. And then I would say just read books, listen to podcasts, pick up habits that will improve you as a person if you're looking to become a better person. And that takes a level of understanding what to say no to. So.
And you've surrounded yourself with a tribe of people that are encouraging you and supporting you along your way. And I think that's really important too, I just posted about this the other day, clear the clutter. If there's anybody that is toxic around you, it's going to end up making you toxic and rotting your good fruit as well. So to be able to surround yourself with positive influences is a great way to be able to improve. And self-awareness. That's just a huge kudos to you for being able to be self-aware. It's so important for us to be able to look inside ourselves and say, what is it that I like? What is it that I don't like? What do I have the power to change? What do I need help with? And so to speak up and not be quiet about what you're going through is definitely huge and important. So what's next for you? If you've done the half Ironman, now you've done the full Ironman. What is there to accomplish next? Are you going to continue this role? Are you going to help to encourage other people that are going to be doing Ironman?
So that's a great question. Ironman was really tough. I'm not going to sit here and just because I completed it say it was an easy breeze. No, it was definitely the hardest thing I've ever done.
Absolutely. Probably rest is really good for you, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. This past week, I've only hit the gym once and just been watching TV in bed. Not something that I've had the ability to do as I was preparing for Ironman. But what's next for me? Perhaps another race in the future for Ironman. That's more on my personal end. But as far as listening to that whisper, I had another whisper that came to me a couple of times as I was training that said, you found life and passion and meaning behind redeeming yourself as a person, going out there and becoming an athlete. You need to bring others to this light. And so I tried thinking to myself, what does that mean? And to me, I think I want to help others who have disabilities and who are not able to complete or compete in these races. I want to help them compete.
That's
and
beautiful.
just help them experience life. You'd be surprised at how many people are bedridden, and not everybody has the fortune of being in excellent health and shape like you and I. And so if I could do that for somebody and just help them get out of bed and help them experience life and help them feel like they're racing themselves, I think that'd be a beautiful experience. And And so I'm going to listen to that whisper. And I mean, right now I'm definitely taking my time, just kind of cooling out.
Yeah, self-care is important right
Yeah,
now, for sure.
absolutely. It was, man, like 20 hours of workouts.
Well, it's
a
amazing
week.
just to hear what you've done to really know what the body is capable of.
Yeah.
Because it's capable of more. We always have our comfort zone. I always laugh with my friends because I do a boot camp on the weekends every once in a while, but it pushes me harder than I push myself at the gym. And so to be able to just extend yourself a little bit more, sometimes you have to have those, challenges and goals that you're looking for to be able to kind of jump over that hurdle. But it's absolutely incredible what you've done. I'm just completely, like I said, inspired and encouraged by your story. I know that it's going to encourage other people, which is why I wanted to put you on the community spotlight, because it's not about just us shining our gifts and talents. It's about being able to help others shine too, because it's what makes us all live our best life.
Absolutely.
So I'm excited for you and what's to come. I'm just encouraged to be able to hear your story. I know it's going to help other people. I'm honored that you were able to sit down with me, because I know there's many, many people out there that are going to want to hear your story and put you on many more interviews. So thank you so much for taking the time to meet with me today. And for everybody else that's out there listening, this is an incredible story of overcoming so many different obstacles, not just with mental health, but with your physical health. And I'm just excited to be able to have Mario here with me today. I hope you guys have enjoyed this story. Thank you again, Mario, for meeting with me.
Thank you, Heather.
Until next time, stay tuned for another Community Spotlight here on Heather Marie Speaks. And I hope you guys have a great day. Talk to you later. Thank you.